Bisa jadian itu sebagai penilaian juga. Itu tergantung. Tergantung.
5 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to ban.
Radiant team
OG's
ban.
turn to ban.
Radiant team ban.
OG's turn to pick.
Radiant team pick.
Morphling. Earth Spirit.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Spirit Breaker.
The next label play. The next label play. The next label play. The next label play.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to ban.
Faceless Void.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
OG's turn to ban.
Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining.
OG's turn to ban.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
OG's turn to pick.
Lena. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Shadow Demon.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to pick. OG's turn to ban.
Slan stands ready.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to ban.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to pick.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Axe.
Choose your hero.
The next label play. The next label play. The next label play. Ten seconds remaining. Prepare for battle.
Hello? Cinderin? Are you there? Cinder, your face looks so stoic today. I'm so proud of you. You've finally done it. You're not giggling like a disgusting fiend anymore.
It's all coming together.
Cinder, I'm gonna do the analyst role today, okay? For the first 2 minutes while we have this pause. I'm gonna tell you, in my very expert opinion, like this OG lineup, okay? So, and you're gonna tell me where I'm horribly, horribly wrong. First and foremost, they have the Shadow Demon, which is not only a great save, but also a great illusion creator for one of the greatest illusion heroes in the game, Morphling. And then number 2, which the panel kind of went... Can we get my face off the screen, please? Enough with this fatness. Please, for God's sake. The second thing that I like about this lineup, Cinderin, is the Spirit Breaker that the panel kind of brought up with not only the Bulldoze. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this one. I can't remember if they changed this or not. Do you still, when you become a Morphling replicate, do you get the Ags version of the spells? Because even though I didn't think this was a good Ags, Spirit Breaker Ags, which he would get essentially with charge, is unbelievably. It's a 6-second cooldown. You can use it multiple times in fights. I like this combo a lot. So tell me where I'm wrong, Cinder, and please crush my soul. Damn it, Cinder. All right, sounds good. Thanks for joining us, Cinderin. Really appreciate it. I get your pay as well, right? Okay. especially if you have a Midas every game. Ooh, bottom lane.
Radiant's courier has been
Soxa
killed.
gets a nice courier snipe. That is a stick gone now. Nice pickoff. Yep, just continuing to get harassed. We'll see if he ends up going with the same kind of item build as last time, or if maybe last game was more because he was just off to such a good start with that pretty much instant E-Blade purchase. Soxa continuing the pressure in the bot lane. Just gets off the disruption there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bad able to last hit. And we're already seeing a charge here in the mid lane from No Tail. Not sure if they're actually going to connect on the top. Morph down all the way through agility here. Now, my question to you, what do you think of Spirit Breaker position 5 if there's no Morphling in the game? Like, is this the main reason they're picking it? Or at times, the position 5 Spirit Breaker can just feel awful, right? Well, a lot of times, I would say, depending on the lineup.
The next label play.
Yep. Sidesteps 2 of them. Very nicely done. Sinner, we give everyone the benefit of the doubt, okay? It was a great play by Seb to sidestep both spells. But this time around, Cinderin, you kind of were mentioning it earlier, as Seb's going to continue to take a little bit of damage here, but Celery not able to connect with the cookie this time around. But Viking off to I know this is super early, but they're off to a way better start than last time. I mean, at this stage, Seb and Soxa were just destroying the spot lane. Look at this axe in terms of CS. I mean, not a big surprise, obviously, since it is an axe that's just going to be splitting the lanes and whatnot. But Toby, just god tier farm right now. Top of net worth in the entire game at this stage.
This is something that OG supports just can't deal with. They're not good against Axe. And when Axe has that good of a lane, he's going to get really farmed. The reason I'm not completely sold on the pick is that I think, yes, his laning and his farming is going to be great, but I think there's some pretty tough hero matchups in this game. I think Morphling is good against the hero. I think Shadow Demon is good against the hero. And I think even Doom is good against the hero just because you have percentage-based damage. You have, you know, the Doom. Dooming Axe is not necessarily bad.
Soxa's dead.
Yeah, he is definitely does. They get that bounty run. But so absolutely with you, though. It's huge for Viking that they get off to a good start with Toby. He's had some rough games, man. His last games have not been easy.
But I would say that every lane is being won by Viking right now. I don't know how heavily it's being favored, but every single lane is definitely advantage Viking right now.
For sure.
You can see in terms of net worth, Lina versus Morph, already a 400 gold net worth advantage for Boom on Lina. He's gonna get some help here from Aramis, but strength morph already up, so Thompson should be fine. Laguna Blade is available, but obviously wouldn't have been enough there. Soxa did get TP though, but it did force out
got
one
the bottle
TP
refill out of that too. Oh, solo kill. Toby solo killing mid one. That's a really big kill.
Yeah, No-Tail was charging from quite a ways away, but not able to get there in time. Still only level 2. But Toby, level 7 now. Top net worth by a long shot. Has the Vanguard. I assume Blink will follow soon after, as Boom is going to bottle up a DD. So, is it for Viking to just continue the snowball? Like, is this... What kind of a lineup are we looking at here? Because you're talking about the aggression of OG. As we're going to see it again in the top lane. A charge into the Stormhammer, I presume, although mid one... Not wanting to aggress any further. Toby basically out of mana at this point, but 2 melee heroes against Axe, not really a great matchup. Bottom lane in the meantime, Seb gets taken out by the triple pressure Viking lineup. So this is the second time around. This time they do get the Doom instead of the Shadow Demon. So Viking. It's bouncing back nicely.
It's just night and day.
They changed up the lineup quite a bit.
It's just night and day from game 1 to this, right? It really comes from the better laning matchups and the fact that they have this hero that can move. Aramis has made 3 out of their 4 kills with their Spirit, and he feels safe to leave top because it's such an amazing Axe lane. I think probably overlooked that a little bit, or definitely overlooked that when we were talking about the hero, that in this game he's very easy to leave, and that is what Earth Spirit loves, right? We talked about the game with Earth Spirit Timber the other day. There's a charge here.
And a lot of damage being done with the Scorched Earth. Looks like Stellar's gonna live a little bit longer, but finally goes down in the midst of the tier 1 tower. Seb taking heavy damage from the tower, but will survive through the day. So again, showing that global pressure from the old Spirit Breaker. Go ahead. Finish your thoughts, Cinderin?
No, I mean I pretty much covered it, right? It's just when you have Earth Spirit 4,
mid one, you're gonna have to shut your mouth, Cinderin, as mid one pops the ult again under the tier 1 tower. Sox is here as well, and Toby bit off a little too much this time around.
Sometimes you just don't spin.
Advantage.
And you're fighting a Sven with Mask of Madness God Strength. That is, see, in their practice sessions, he gets that kill because the other Sven has phase boots Midas. But mid one,
I knew you were gonna
had a
say
Mask
that.
of Madness, so he just crushed him. He just pressed the button, 2 buttons. He pressed ulti too, and then he smacked him, and he won.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, double neutral item.
Can't blame
Iron
that.
Talon for mid one, as well as a Broom Handle. Probably going to be going the way of Doom. Really nice item on Doom. The melee attack range is so nice for Infernal Blade, so I reckon he'll be taking that. But yeah, I mean, now we've been to this thought like 3 times. I love strategies where you have Earth Spirit and the offlaner can be left alone because it opens up so much pressure on the map. When Earth Spirit is missing, you can die in your safe lane, you can die in the mid lane, and this Axe realistically only dies in this lane if he does something like that. Like, he needs to try to solo kill the Sven in the tower against God Strength, or he doesn't really die. Sven plus Spirit Breaker can't kill him, Shadow Demon plus Sven can't kill him.
Is dead. Laguna Blade not even needed for this kill. I don't think Boom has even used this spell so far.
4 heroes. It's a good kill though.
Yeah, it was quite an investment. That was a smoke gank as well, as Thompson pushes in this lane, but Boom is back now. So no harm
There's
done.
the trade-off. They're kind of giving Thompson a lot of space. He was playing an unfavored matchup, and now he is only 400 gold behind Lina minute 9. I know that's also what he was behind minute 5, but relatively speaking, that is not a bad score for Morph right now. That's honestly very solid.
Lane Toby's in another precarious spot potentially, as Seb is TPing in with the no-tail charge coming through. Mid one's even gonna pop his ult, and there's the Doom expended just for this Axe killing. Remember, this is top net worth hero in the game right now. See if Aramis and company can get this deny. Looks like they might be able to. Yeah, should be fine.
Need to account for Vanguard.
Correctly. Okay. Oh, he picks out. Very unfortunate. Seb with that Scorched Earth. Looks like it'll pay with his life, but probably worth it considering the net worth advantage we have here. The charge is going to connect in mid. LSA does go off as well, but the damage is done, and Thompson trying to continue to finish this kill. Gets the vision at the last moment, and Thompson looks like he's back in the game now. His right clicks commence on the Aramis.
Hell.
So
I'm really surprised he was in range for that last attack. That looked like a... I don't know.
Well, I was more confused how he even had vision, but I guess he just...
Yeah, there's a little bit of a line there. I think one of the trees might have also been cut by the Earth Spirit roll, so there was a little extra vision, but yeah. Thought for a second Morph wasn't going to get that kill. The Thompson had undershot the waveform a little bit, but just narrowly gets that final strike in, and that's a huge kill. Now he's ahead of Lina minute 10. Really not what Viking wanted when they put these lane matchups. And as good as their early laning stage was, we're kind of approaching a point now where OG have equalized the game. The big breadwinner Axe died twice, and might even die a third time here. They're going to have some TP and reinforcements. They will. They're going to back off here.
Force out the Armis TP.
Jaya's middle tower.
Away they go for now. Mid one doesn't have ult for another 20 seconds. I'd be surprised if they actually address if he had it, but there's Armis rolls in. He gets the magnetize off. No-Tail's going to charge in to try to help him out. Boom is here as well. Laguna Blade finally used to take out mid one Sven. In the meantime, the call is going to connect onto Sox and chop down to the ground. No-Tail looks to be next on the list. So a nice rotation here from Viking as they take out 3 heroes in quick succession.
Very nice.
But in the meantime, Thompson, at the very least, doing some damage in the mid tier 1.
Yeah, that's still well worth it if they don't lose the tower. They're going to TP in the Faceless Void. He's probably going to be able to defend this. Maybe? Yes. Chrono.
Ooh, all right. Chronosphere into the Mortimer's Kisses, into the LSA, with the waveform and the Strength Morph just in time. Looks like he shall survive this. A nice getaway there for good old Thompson. Mid tier 1 not deniable as of yet. Now this tier 1 is being pressured. Viking side looks like Axe ends up dying to mid 1. Wow. That happened there. A little bit out position.
Just overwhelming him. They just brought 3 heroes. Doom, the Bash Bros going in. Doom, Spirit Breaker, and Sven. It's pretty scary when these 3 heroes just run at you with the move speed from Warcry.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
It's kind of overwhelming. Even for a tanky Axe with Vanguard, you're still gonna die there. But at the very least for Viking, they got the kill spot on. They defend their mid tier 1 tower. Would have been awesome if they got that Void kill. Or sorry, the Morph kill with the Void Chrono.
Man, he actually delayed another strike, so able to get off the Yules just in time to cancel that. Looks like Seb is just chasing down Armis. We're going to assume he's going to get that kill. But in the meantime, No-Tail and Thompson end up teaming up to take out Boom, a very important kill. And now the Stormhammer's going to connect on Toby into the LSA that's been stolen from Thompson, into the charge. They just have so many disables. Gets off the call, that'll help mitigate a lot of damage, but Viking just getting overrun in this tier 1 tower. It looks like it'll finally go the way of OG. Fortification is popped though. Not sure if they can actually defend this. No Blink Dagger yet on Toby. Is it being delivered perhaps? I feel like he should have a lot more gold in this.
There's something coming. Yep, he has Blink.
Alright, so that could be the turning tide in terms of aggressive factor from Viking here. Shad. Gonna get so this one is less. I'm not gonna say even Midas Sven is unusual because I've seen a lot of people pick it up. It's just Mask of Madness is more prevalent. But Void, this is very common. But again, it's basically the same build minus the phases I guess that he got on Sven.
I think the primary difference is Void with Mask of Madness is not able to farm Ancients nearly as effective as Sven.
Thompson getting completely surrounded by 4 members of Viking. Looks like he's gonna be brought down just barely. Took so much effort to bring him down.
That's Morphling for you.
Well,
but they got what they came for, and they might even get the tower. OG are gonna defend this with their lives. They're probably going to run in, I would imagine, Spirit Breaker. Just charging. I think they're just yielding. Wow. All right.
Powers out.
Knowing OG, I really thought they were going to start throwing bodies at this, at least the Spirit Breaker, to charge into Lina, buy some time, and maybe come in from the side and get some sort of a trade-off, like maybe even lose 1 or 2 heroes just to hold the tower, but they're just giving it up there. Felt like it was impossible to hold.
And now they know that Toby has the blink, so Seb playing very, very safe, but it looks like Soxa is going to be one that's found. The blink into the call, but Thompson's here as well to try to do as much damage as he can. Mid 1, looks like he's going to burst down for Armis with the help of No-Tail's ultimate. Meantime, Chronosphere onto 2 heroes into the Mortimer's Kissers again. Thompson should be fine, but Sven, mid 1, in a lot of trouble. Call's not going to be there, but they got the kill nonetheless. So it's a 2-for-1 advantage Vikings thus far. Laguna Blade applied to Thompson, whose agility morph right now is going to wait for him to safety, but by safety I mean 2 feet away from these melee heroes, which is just enough space apparently to get away just fine here. Bottling up with that abuse, I'm just going to call it an abuse of the Morph Center, which will probably be done very shortly.
Have Doom ready. Shad was not expecting that. Oh no, he didn't account for the Doom.
He'll take out Toby with that waveform, and yeah, the Doom applied to Shad. That is more than enough. So Viking caught off guard despite having the advantage early. It looks like Cellar's going to get triple kill for Thompson, who is just living on the edge constantly in these fights.
Get 4 bounties. It's a decent band-aid there. Obviously, you're not happy with losing these 3 heroes on your way out. It's 2 cores plus the snap. It was probably avoidable. They had the high ground there, right? They had the high ground. They saw OG were kind of posturing to go up, and they chose to stand there and fight. I think they lost track of cooldowns. The Void was definitely not expecting to be doomed there. Just out of position. Just dead.
Topson, maybe not. Earth Spirit. LSA is actually going to miss, but the right click should be enough for Topson to get the kill. Yes, supporting them for him in mid 1 and no tail. Mid 1 has a Stormhammer available. Laguna Blade applied, but Topson is just fine. Look at that triple charge into the Stormhammer as well. Boom is going to be next on the list. Toby able to get 2 inside the call, but no tail. More than enough damage again. And it looks like OG are starting to take over this game very slowly but surely. The aggression just continues. Not going to dive past that tier 2 this time around, though. Not OG style, typically. But
Viking failed to realize something.
What's that?
They took away the Morph Earth Spirit combo. But that just means Morph doesn't have to buy Ags. Now he just becomes Earth Spirit for free anyway. So this was why they first picked Morph. They're like, we're getting our Morph Earth Spirit either way. If you pick it, I don't have to buy Ags. If you don't pick it, we will. And I'm gonna play it regardless.
How much of a benefit is it to have a second Earth Spirit, though? Isn't that the biggest reason to have it? I mean, obviously the mobility is really nice regardless, and it's going to be a good steal no matter what.
Dude, what can I say? Topson just wants to play Earth Spirit. He doesn't care. Like,
that's true.
if there could be 10 Earth Spirit players in the game, he would want to play Earth Spirit anyway. So if everyone else plays it too, that's fine. He probably practices 5v5 all mid Earth Spirit on his time off. Oh, Chad has Chrono.
Gets off the time dilation. Nether Strike will connect. Stormhammer on the way. It's actually going to stun him after the Chrono Trigger has already been applied. There's the Mortar Immerse Kick is enough to take out Nota, but now mid 1 and company teaming up to take out Aramis. Who's ticking away very slowly, but they finally get the kill. A 1-for-1 to start things out is Seb. Forced away the Luna Blade already used. Toby has a Blink Call available. Finished Blade Mail. He had this queued up like 5 minutes ago. It's really surprising. There's been so much aggression here, I suppose. Non-stop fighting. Looks like Sox is going to be taken out. Chop by the old axe. That'll break up this fight. So 2-for-1 finish.
Yeah. Only support's dying though, so relatively minor swing regardless of who comes out on top with a 2-for-1 there, as long as only supports die. Worth noting, Topson was not involved, so it's kind of a 5v4, and Chrono expended, Laguna expended, as well as Snapfire ulti. I actually think OG are pretty happy with that. No-Tail has Bulldoze running.
Oh my god, he's actually going to get away. Are you serious? That is such a stupid play. I swear to God, he gets away with the craziest stuff. This is why No-Tail is just an absolute god. Like in a pub, you would actually, somebody would put you on the low priority for that, or your avoid list, literally, for just that play. But he gets away. He makes it work.
Worth talking about with that, obviously there was a high level of Bulldoze. No-Tail's gone for a 4-3-1 build. Pretty uncommon to only see 1 in Greater Bash. This obviously makes Charge of Darkness a lot worse in how it bashes the other heroes you charge through, but from the single target perspective it doesn't matter. The primary target takes the mech stun anyway, because Charge of Darkness stuns longer than the Greater Bash. So if his primary goal in the fight is, I'm going on one guy, I'm gonna go on him, I'm gonna stun him, and I'm gonna cause just problems, then the high level in Bulldoze is really good. What it essentially does is it forces them, if they want to kill him, they have 2 options. They either need to chrono him, or they need to Yule him with Lina. Or they can maybe axe call him, but that call is pretty damn short too, so the moments of opportunity are pretty small. I really like this build. I feel like we don't see it very often. Well, I mean, we don't ever see the hero play it, so I mean, you don't see any build very often, but
I mean, I will say, I know this is gonna sound stupid, Center, but hear me out here, okay? I know all spells technically scale, but when you're playing a Spirit Pick, I feel like you always want, like, it feels really bad not to have all your abilities. Like, as a position 5, typically not the highest level, so you have to sacrifice something.
Right.
But just look at the way all of his abilities scale. They're all really good.
Yep.
It's a tough choice, but you're right, this game definitely working out. He actually has an Ags queued up right now. Already has the point booster, so we may or may not see Topson even bother with Ags if No-Tail has his own, but we'll see. I mean, having 2, definitely nice. But if Topson can continue to get Earth Spirit, then I assume that's what he's just gonna do every time. I see a smoke here from Viking. So, I mean, just talking about farm discrepancy here, you can see Lina on the net worth not doing too hot anymore. Only has a Yule still, working towards a BKB right now. Toby did finally finish that Blade Mail. And in terms of the carry perspective, Void, so we talked about the Midas, but now a very defensive build on Lincoln Spears. There's the jump in from Toby. All connected to the LSA. Looks like we'll have enough to take him out, but will the counter initiation be here? Seb gets the Doom off onto Boom, but he gets Cookie pretty much immediately. Thompson just blows up Snapfire, who buys back in the game instantly. Nether Strike now onto Boom. Looks like he's going to fall one way or the other. And now with the ultimate from mid one, they're just starting to shred these kids left and right. As Chronosphere is applied, it only is to one, but it is Doom with that ultimate from Snapfire, so the buyback being worth it to some degree. But now Celery's going to get dieback here if he's not careful. Thompson into Earth Spirit. Celery hiding under the midst of the tier 2 tower, so it's a 2 for 4 if you want to count that buyback. I didn't realize you get the taunt for the hero you steal.
Yeah, and you get their voice lines.
Pretty
See,
funny.
that's the
Really?
you just get level 30 on Morph and you have every voice line that you can have in the game. That's how you play Dota Plus the game, actually. Get Morph to 30.
That's just min-max that shit, no doubt. Great. So yeah, that fight overall, obviously going OG's way for the most part. I mean, what from Vikings' perspective, what do they need to do here, Cinder? It's not like this is an insurmountable lead. It's not like the other games we've cast, where they're just down 10k pretty much instantly. They're down 4k. It's 21 minutes in. Obviously, Void not doing any damage right now because of his build, but he'll get there with his MKB.
Yeah, I don't know about the Midas Lincolns. I know where he's coming from because he's scared about getting doomed. He's scared of the E-Blade, but you're itemizing not to lose here, not to kill, right? The MKB is going to help out a lot. So we'll see when he gets there how it's going to affect things, but yeah, I think you wait for the Vessel. I actually think you need it. It's the big item that they've needed for a very long time that they've been unable to obtain here because they can't kill Morph without this Vessel. And it's also really, really good against Doom, so they can find these big tanky kills. But it's just not there yet.
This is another thing, Cinder, with this Lincoln. I mean, you have Spirit Breaker who can break it globally. So he's going to jump in with that Blade now. He's going to apply all his pressure to stock. In the meantime, Lina destroyed. Basically has the support items at this point in the game as Toby continuing on, gets off that call, but dies shortly after. A double kill for mid one as OG starting to run away with this fight. Thompson turns into Void. So he has that time dilation available. And they could just go for Roche if they really want, and it looks like that is exactly the case here.
We both know he only turned into Void to get that voice line. That is the only reason.
Void has a good taunt too. Be real.
He does, but that is also an 8k lead for OG out of nothing. This game was really even for 15 minutes, and they have just absolutely crushed them. And there's a couple of key parts to that. Doom got his dagger, Sven got his BKB. Actually, he hasn't even used that, so never mind. He hasn't even needed to. And the Morph E-Blade opens up the fight so easily for them. There's the Vessel there. It is now.
Yeah, they have so many Lincoln
there's
breakers.
Aegis.
It's crazy. It is crazy how many times they can take this off on. No tail. Gonna charge in. Looks like he will live through the day. Enough damage from OG to take out Celery. As Boom looks out on the ledge here. Yeah, just the right clicks enough. Oh, nice call from Toby's gonna help his teammate survive just a little bit longer. The Chronosphere onto 2 as mid one's on the outside. Gets a nice Storm Hammer, keeping everybody in place. And the right clicks will commence. Toby, one more call for the road. But just like that, it's a 2 for 1. Mid one staying alive with his BKB. Looks like he'll finally take out to that Magnetize.
Alright, that wasn't too bad for Viking. I think Lina was completely out of position there, but they still managed to save her with 5% HP from that Chrono from Shed blocking out No-Tail. But at the same time, it means you're chronoing the Spirit Breaker, right? Like, that's what you had to do there to keep your Lina alive, because she was so hungry for the initial kill on the Breaker that she basically set herself up as a target. If there's one thing you don't want to do as a mid Lina, it's become available to kill, right? The hero is extremely fragile. You've just seen in these fights, any one of them gets on top of her. Spirit Breaker, Sven, Doom, or Morph, she dies. There's no defensive item. She's working on that BKB that was close to being there. Yeah, Yules, I mean, you could call it a defensive item. I just don't think it just doesn't cut it here. You really need that extra layer of protection in this game.
Celery getting charged in the bot lane. Soul Catcher's there. And with that Scorched Earth, looks like it'll be more than enough to take him out. Now the tier 2 tower looks to be next. So
Radiant's
it
bottom
looks
tower
like
is under
Topson
attack.
is basically going for the same build as last game. Just had a little early stop off with the Dragon Lance for a little extra survivability in terms of the right click, but we'll be going for the Aghanim Scepter. So which hero from his team
Radiant's
does he
bottom tower
prioritize? Is it
is
still
under
the Spirit
attack.
Breaker?
Radiant's bottom tower
I think so.
has fallen.
Are there any other cute plays? I mean, you could turn into Sven and get Ags. That's probably really good. I think I've heard.
Yeah. You've heard.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Sven himself almost has Ags, so they're about to hit a pretty big power spike.
Radiant's
like it's
middle
Seb in the
tower
top
is
lane.
under attack.
Trying to get off the score
charge.
short.
He's in trouble.
It's a very critical strike pack leader ore, but it's not going to help here with that blade mail. That's going to be more than enough damage as Toby with the blade mail is shredding his face. Nota looks to be next, so Viking getting a couple nice pickoffs here.
They were ready that time. They were definitely ready. They know what OG wants to do on the map now, that they want to make these split jumps where they connect with Spirit Breaker. So this time they set up a bait, and that looked really scary for Aramis, but the Void was in range this time to come in and connect and help out. They get the 2 kills, one of them being a core. Definitely very good here from
Dire's
Viking.
top
They
tower is under attack.
do that while having Chrono on cooldown, so now they should be even stronger technically, and might even look for something here at the tier 2 tower. They can get a jump onto Soxa. They should go for this. They're trying.
They're going to attempt it. Soxa has the Aether Lens though, so
The next label
I actually think somebody's in the trees, but they will be sadly disappointed finding nothing. As Topson, he's going to get called to start things out. Soxa has the save if he wants. Great counter to Axe as always. Creates those extra illusions to have that passive of his, counter helix. Shadow Demon's going to be the first to die here. LSA will connect onto No Tail, so no more charges to come for him. So a 2 for nothing as OG looks like they still want to fight. I mean, their cores are still up. From Seb. Pops his BKB, but gets Chrono pretty much immediately. Topson just on the outside, enough to right-click away. No Doom available. He does not have buyback either. As this fight is quickly turning in favor of Vikings. Shad, LSA is going to help him out. He's going to time off the Sager, but there's the Aghanim Scepter from mid 1. Enough to take him out. And now he's going to continue to aggress despite having the severe disadvantage in numbers. Mid 1 going to get called now. This is a Toby buyback. And with that Mortimer's Kisses, that was definitely not needed. But at this stage, you take what you can get. Topson does get away. Whew.
That's wild. I think, honestly, a very critical detail on that fight is that Topson used Replicate into the Void's Lincolns. So he just didn't have the second set of spells that fight, and that makes a huge difference. They were trying to take this fight with just one set of spells from him. Uh-oh. Well, here he comes. All right, he's stopping for nothing.
The double charge incoming, gentlemen. That is kill number 1. Another strike's gonna be faked out. Topson gets LSA'd. Still has charge available. There's the call to keep him in place, and he's just dead. Over aggression from OG. All you can do is laugh at this point.
He got a really good voice line for the moment. That's why I'm laughing. He made sure to say this is complete and utter bullshit before he died. So very good.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
But we are seeing that is the Aghanim Scepter. Not only increases the speed of charge, but lowers the cooldown as well. Good stuff. Guys, so fast.
Viking are really clawing their way back into this though through these fights. I think OG are getting a little bit wild, and these times Viking have been ready. They've had the numbers. They've had some good spellcasting. Lina has played her hero this time. It's a really, really big difference that Boom is not getting jumped for once. Finally gets to play a little bit of backline, get some good stuns off, use Laguna Blade effectively. They got the Vessel off on Morphling a couple of times there as well. But now they need to not overextend themselves. Lina's exposed here. Oh, he wasn't ready for that angle.
The other side into the Stormhammer as well, but Toby again with a great save to start things out. BKB mid 1 looks to be essentially wasted here as Boom's just going to TP out to safety.
That was an important axe call. Really important.
He's been pretty on point with those. So that was the 8-second BKB from mid 1. This is where things get a little bit hairy in that department. In terms of Shad, he's working on a BKB for himself, so has the MKB, and still a decent amount away from finishing the BKB. They're going to smoke up, and they will find mid. Oh, he's actually going to sidestep by accident, I feel like. And
OG won a turn. He doesn't have God Strength now.
Yeah, that is
no
great.
cares.
But No Tail has charge.
Some cares. Okay, they care.
Yeah, he's just going to D-ward to start things out. The charge again, this time from Topson, who has the Ag version of that. He's going to try down Lina, but the Cookie's gonna keep him safe, and Shad with the Chronosphere. But look at the strength more from Thompson. It's more than enough to stay alive through this engagement. As Boom on just the outside, but Thompson's still getting right-click down. Better be careful. Will fall in the end, so it's a 1-for-1 advantage. Viking to start things out, but Celery getting chased down by OG. Seb is so freaking tanky right now as Notel's gonna continue to charge with the buyback onto the Snapfire. Second buyback in the game, in fact, is Toby under the tier 2 tower, just gonna get storm hammered. Still relatively healthy for now, but Aramis gets storm hammered from afar. The Superman in play again for mid one. So a 3-for-1 with the buyback. If OG can get out, this is definite advantage despite losing their Morphling. But there's Toby again with a nice call onto the neutral camps. As said, might be the sacrificial land, but we've seen this before. He wants to continue in. Good lord, how did they avoid so instantly? Was that a soul catcher? Jesus.
5 poison stacks and soul catcher.
Seb will fall in the end, but advantage OG in terms of numbers. 4 dead for Viking, and the next to fall as well. This is a dieback onto Celery. Wow.
There's no way Shad expects that to happen. He has full HP, he jumps in, he gets 5 Shadow Poisoned, plus Soul Catcher, Sven Stormhammer, and then he just pops. He didn't have Lincoln's ready against the Stormhammer because it was already used against the... I'm not sure what procced it before, actually, because they were able to disrupt him. Did he Demonic Purge it first? Whatever they did, it was...
There's literally like a million spells to pop Lincoln. This doesn't feel good.
What a fight. Thompson with a wild engage to start things out. Like he tries to solo kill Lina, fails by just a tiny bit of damage, gets chronoed, gets killed, but it takes them so damn long to kill the Morph that it sets up all of OG for success. And I think that fight, really crucial. They get the Doom onto the Axe. I really think he's the best Doom target in this game. It's Toby counterplaying every move they make. If the Axe is out of play for 20 seconds, you find these kills on the Lina, you find these kills on the Snap and the Earth Spirit. And you don't need to take the risk of having to Doom the Void if his Lincoln's comes back up or whatever. Just take out the other utility hero and you're good to go. Oh, double charge action.
I feel like,
get ready. Oh, he canceled it.
I feel like Thompson is playing a mini game where he's like, I'm gonna charge to the other side of the map. It's up to you guys to try and catch up to me before I die, which they technically did, but he did end up dying shortly after. So I don't know who wins in that engagement, but I guess OG as a whole. I'm sure they have.
It came out as a big winner in the end, after all was said and done, but it looked dicey. I think some big individual plays was what won that, rather than the strategy itself of the move. I think Sox's outplay in the end was extremely important, and Seb with a good engage on the Doom. In other words, I would not recommend them to do that as their fight opener every time. I don't think you just YOLO the Morph in like that and expect that that is a game-winning play, but that time around it definitely did work in the end.
So No-Tail finally, with the help of his Philosopher's Stone, finishes the Aghanim Scepter. So now they have 2 ridiculous global charges, 2 ridiculous Lincoln's Breakers, whatever you want to call it, and a DD bottled up for Thompson, who are just waiting for Roshan, which will be up in 15 seconds. And we talked about this before with Viking in the series yesterday, Cinder, and they gave up so many Roshes and it just spelled their doom.
Yeah.
No pun intended, because they did have Doom on their team as well. But
Seb.
Speaking of which, yep,
he has buyback.
Get called. Late mail to start, but a nice save. That's
so many spells.
Kisses. BKB pop by Seb now as the jump in from mid one is there into the charge from No-Tail. Can barely tell the difference. The Nether Strike into the Doom is enough to kill Shad, and that is a huge pickoff for OG, as they're not just going to try to clean things up. Toby's going to be next, as this fight has segregated completely. 3 dead in the blink of an eye. Armin is going to be the 4th, and this is going to be an easy Roche for OG, which will be the Aegis and Cheese. That was the DD Thompson, by the way.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They found a... I don't know what you do as Viking right now against this double charge and the overwhelming run at you style that OG is bringing to the table. Really the crucial part of that fight, Soxa again, just perfect positioning. He gets the counterplay to their initial axe jump plus Mortimer Kisses. When you've committed all of these spells just to force a disruption, you need to get the hell out of there. In usual Dota, you can maybe disengage. Against these heroes, you can't disengage. You're just gonna get run. You're gonna get run at by all these 2,000 movement speed heroes just charging you down. And as soon as that Void Lincoln's got popped, I just knew that fight was big trouble. They obviously don't need to do Max if he's already caught, so they pop the Lincolns on Void easily, they doom him, and that fight is just, they're just in the dust immediately. The fight's just lost from 2 seconds in. And that's 2 lanes of Rax.
It's gonna be a double Rax. They cannot go for
on
megas.
Thompson, he will get Scotty. And 4 bounty runes. Yeah, this is almost a 30k gold lead here from OG.
And they throw it. Roche number 2, yes. Aegis
Yeah,
and Chi.
so no refresher Ags yet. Well, they do have other Ags already, so.
I mean, when you see Soxa with almost finishing a 3rd item, you know things are going poorly for the other team. Soxa, a lot of times very, very poor on this Shadow Demon especially, but as a Blink Aether Lens, working towards an Ags, only 800 away from finishing. That's triple Demonic Purge, along with all the benefits you get from it, which is such another Lincoln's Breaker, I suppose. I feel like this Lincoln's has not been worth at all. But perhaps not expecting the Ag's Spirit Breaker to be stolen. I don't know. It's just like an instant takeoff of the Lincolns, you know, from global range. I feel like that is so good.
It's really good. A lot of the time, the Spirit Breaker has died first in the fights, and then you can start playing around it. But as long as Spirit Breaker is alive, or Thompson is more.
All right, the double charge coming in. Yule's on the cliff, but Thompson, luckily for him, has waveform.
Yeah, well.
Next patch, you can charge wards, by the way. I've seen the patch notes.
I'm so glad you don't know.
Boy.
Come up with
Deep in the belly of the base here, but Shad gets doomed. The Lincoln's already popped, despite the BKB being activated. He is donezo. No buyback to speak of, as this looks like the end of Game 2 is coming. They cannot go for Megas quite yet. They can go for the 3 are dead with the buyback onto the Aramis Earth Spirit, but it matters not, my friend. GGs are called. OG again. Convincing fashion. This Morphling, I feel like they just need to ban it, man.
They're not getting it. But what do you get then, right? Now you have to give away something else. If you want to ban that morph, if you can't solve it when the enemy team first pick morph, you've gone through the iterations now, right? You gave OG morph Earth Spirit, you got destroyed. You gave away morph, you took Earth Spirit, you got destroyed. So now you either take out the morph or you approach the game completely differently. I liked Vikings draft a lot more in this game than in game 1.